Hello YouTube. After a frustrating conversation with a dear friend, I thought I would purge myself here. What the hell? What the hell has happened to this country? Apathy is absolutely pathetic. Let's think this through carefully. The actions of Mayor Ed Lee of San Francisco is not surprising. What I do not get is why so many of my liberal friends have their undergarments in a twist. The impulsion is to support the mayor's idea that a tight embrace via this route that I will speak about is mandatory to skillfully influence gun violence. So, put the legal screws to us, and a significant decline will occur with violence throughout the country, especially within San Francisco. Not likely. Mr. Lee, shall we yield to your stormtrooper mentality as you aim to prevent violence? And fuck the inconvenience that you will have to endure. After all, it is your American obligation to squash your privacy rights, all for the sake of indulging someone's fear. Can you smell the aroma of fecal matter? The actuality is back in 1968, the United States Supreme Court threw daggers at the Fourth Amendment. It was called Terry versus Ohio. They, meaning the executive, judicial, and legislative branches of government. They, but especially the legal division, would like the public to think it is a prohibition on unreasonable searches and seizures. They would like you to firmly believe that without probable cause to arrest, if reasonable suspicion exists that a person has committed, or is about to commit a crime, that this is enough to engage in this indecent maneuver. Also, let's not forget, in addition, there has to be a reasonable belief that the person may be armed and presently dangerous. Let's sidestep to show how vulnerable we really are with this skillful display of legal mastery. Present-day Florida, an infamous racist state. Some of us have not forgotten how Jackie Robinson was ran out of town while playing for the Montreal Royals. Nor have we forgotten about the racial fiascos that were not suppressed. So, we are supposed to put faith in various police departments within that state who have delayed or sidestepped the act of properly engaging in investigation due to their racial agendas or biases. We are supposed to trust they would consistently treat a black man, for example, fairly, especially if he had obtained a concealed carry permit. That their suspicion would be quelled by reason. That even though he is legally armed, that this would not be used as an excuse to frisk and search him. That a police officer would not stoop to claim that he was showing evasive behavior, or that he appeared to be nervous. That surely these pertinent factors would contribute to determining reasonable suspicion. Remember, reasonable suspicion does not have to be indicative of wrongdoing. It just has to be suggestive of such. This was an obvious consideration. I could easily construct more intricate examples that have no racial angle. A quick example, think about how this new take on stop and frisk, coupled with the 1981 Military Cooperation with Civilian Law Enforcement Agencies Act, could affect our country. So put stop and frisk and combine it with this, and what do you think that you will generate? Do you get my point? No? How do you think, then, a future United States would look with this addition, in addition to the National Defense Authorization Act? Do remember Section 1021 of the NDAA, which sanctions the military detention of American citizens without charge. Domino, behind Domino. I propose it is all constructed for the purpose of something greater, like social control. Do you get it now? Capiche? Even in liberal California, a beautiful state, especially in the northern regions. Anyway, even there, I would propose, especially in an election year where we have failed as Americans, America, a place where we have allowed our media and governing officials to heighten the existing racial and class divide. Are you really going to attempt to persuade me that a political initiative, by the way, we do not have to consider Terry versus Ohio here, that a political initiative would not directly affect young minorities of color, that acts of police terrorism and murder against young people of color will decrease all of a sudden? Please tell me you are not willing to deny that this will continue to legitimize racial profiling and discrimination, even if you pander to the likes of racism. Are you willing to undermine your best interest by supporting a policy that allows a huge disregard of probable cause? Are we so far gone that we collectively have abandoned the Fourth Amendment? Why would we be willing to surrender privacy for supposed protection by rule of law? If you really want to decrease violence, does it not make sense to know that one's guns do not cause violence? That action upon the vile thoughts that one may generate does. That humane and proven anti-poverty coupled with anti-criminal strategies with a dash of proven prevention and intervention strategies is the superior course of conduct when addressing violence. Do think about this quote that I'm about to share with you. These are the words of U.S. Supreme Court Justice William O. Douglas. Once he stated, quote, "As nightfall does not come all at once, neither does oppression. In both instances, there is a twilight when everything remains seemingly unchanged. And it is in such twilight that we all must be aware of change in the air, however slight, lest we become unwitting victims of the darkness." End quote. Thank you for your time.